From Dakota Johnson calling Ellen DeGeneres out to Joaquin Phoenix sassing Jimmy Fallon, here are the most embarrassing TV show host moments. And to start off, we don't need to look further than Jimmy Fallon. He interrupted Dakota Johnson, and she really wasn't having any of it. Now we know that Dakota's never gonna be afraid to call you out. She doesn't care who you are, or if the cameras are rolling. If she's got a bone to pick, you best believe she will. And Jimmy Fallon made the grave mistake of interrupting her, right as she was telling a hilarious story about being sprayed by a skunk.
They weren't there, so
I don't know where you're talking about them. Where are we? Where are we and what staff?
We're in Big Sur.
Oh, wait, but are you in a cabin somewhere?
Yes, it's a sort of lodge in Big Sur.
Sorry. And so you go out to walk the dog?
In the middle of her talking, it seems like the late-night host got lost, and he spoke in the middle of her story, asking her a question. Dakota's face at that moment says it all. Needless to say, she was pissed, and she didn't hesitate to call him out. What she said was so good, I feel like she's been sitting on it for a while. Dakota said, "Aren't you supposed to let people talk on the show?" Shots fired. And she had a very good point, too.
Aren't you supposed to let people talk on the show?
If they know what they're talking about, yes. What the hell are you talking about?
Now Jimmy immediately clapped his hands to his face in embarrassment. I mean, I would too, if I got schooled on my own talk show. Jimmy quickly regained his composure though and bantered with Dakota. He said yes, as long as they know what they're talking about. Still, that's gotta be pretty awkward. Now, this next moment also comes courtesy of Jimmy Fallon. This guy just can't catch a break. Rami Malek caught him out on a lie. Okay, things definitely aren't looking good for poor Jimmy. In the middle of his interview with Rami, he praised his performance in Bohemian Rhapsody. Rami played the main character of Freddie Mercury.
I love the way you move on stage.
It was met with rave reviews. Jimmy said that he wanted to call Rami to talk about the movie, but he didn't have his email or number, or else he would have called a gazillion times to tell him how amazing he was. Well, that wasn't exactly true. He did indeed have Rami's number, and Rami was quick to shut him down. He responded by saying that Jimmy had both his number and email. Yikes.
If I had your email or your phone number, I would have called you a gazillion times and said, dude,
You
you
do
were
have
unbelievable. You were unbelievable
You
in
have
this
my
movie.
email and phone number.
That's true, but I decided to not call you up. I flipped out. You were unbelievable.
Again, Jimmy was quickly able to regain control. I gotta praise him for thinking quickly on his feet. He said that that was indeed true, but he decided not to call him anyway, turning it all into one big joke. But I know he was hardcore cringing from inside. Rami then touched his hand, probably as a gesture of goodwill, but it looks like Jimmy had no idea how to respond.
Laying upside down, you were laying on the ground playing it with your hands crossed.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Please. There's other ones.
No. That was something Freddie did every night.
Now this next host embarrassed himself after having a little too much fun on New Year's Eve. Andy Cohen went on a drunken rant. This all happened live on the CNN New Year's Eve broadcast. Andy was on screen with Anderson Cooper, but Anderson made a huge mistake. He mentioned Bill de Blasio, who's the ex-mayor of New York City. Well, if you didn't know before, you know now. Andy Cohen is definitely not a fan of him. As soon as he heard his name, you could visibly see him get upset. Anderson did too, because he quickly interrupted him, advising him not to go on a rant. But Andy did not care. He went on to say that Bill's term was the crappiest, and that the only thing Democrats and Republicans can agree on is that he was a terrible mayor. He got so angry that rumors soon started flying that he got fired for the incident, but that wasn't the case. Still, it's pretty embarrassing to start drunkenly ranting about politics.
Do you want some Mougène? Do you want some tequila? What do you want,
let's have this devil water Mougène.
Do you want
Sea
2021?
What's a sea sh?
A good old song of the sea. Sweetie?
To be honest, he's reminding me of that uncle at Thanksgiving dinner. This next awkward moment totally went viral online. Dakota called out Ellen for lying during the Christmas segment of the show. Ellen invited Dakota, and she came looking gorgeous in a red and black ensemble. Well, no one knew the two were about to make history. Ellen asked Dakota how her birthday was, but she added in a sly little remark that she wasn't invited. And then Dakota replied with the line that we can never forget. Actually, Ellen, that's not not the truth. Even Ellen didn't know what to say next. But that wasn't all. Dakota then went on to say that she made sure Ellen got an invite because the host had given her a lot of shit for not inviting her last time. And then came the final stinger. I didn't even know you liked me. Honestly, I'm not sure how Ellen thought she could ever recover from this. Now, Ellen embarrasses her guest on the regular, so seeing someone dish it back was very satisfying to see, but also very cringe. This next talk show host was feeling a little under the weather on the day of filming. Enough to pass out. Yep, Wendy Williams collapsed on set. This is another TV moment that's been memed to death. Wendy was dressed up as the Statue of Liberty for her Halloween segment. Everyone was in good spirits, and things were going according to plan, when suddenly she looked at the camera in utter shock. Then she wobbled around for a bit and fainted on camera. The audience was completely shocked, and people quickly rushed in to make sure she was okay. Thankfully, it was nothing serious. But come on, it's gotta be pretty embarrassing to faint on stage for the entire audience to see. Wendy was a trooper though, and she even came back to finish off the segment later. Here's another lady who managed to totally humiliate herself while hosting a show. Tyra Banks. Yep, she had her own talk show called Tyra. Don't know what I'm talking about? I don't blame you. It wasn't exactly all that successful. But that's not the embarrassing part. In 2007, she was introduced to a porcupine during a live segment. The model seemed a little bit unfamiliar with this animal because, well, she had a total meltdown. In fact, she even climbed up on the sofa to escape from it. It was really cringy to see her react that way, especially to a tiny, cute porcupine. Whether she was trying to ham it up for the viewers or whether she was actually terrified of it, neither explanation makes up for how awkward this was to watch. But this isn't the only time she's pulled strange shenanigans on her talk show. She also pretended to have rabies. In yet another episode of Tyra Banks decided to play a really strange prank. While talking to the audience, she revealed that she had been bitten by a dog who had rabies while out on a jog in her neighborhood. Now, everyone knew she was joking about this, because who would come in to host their show after getting bitten by a rabid dog? But Tyra decided to take it all one step further. She started foaming at the mouth, got on all fours, and started barking like a dog. Honestly, you couldn't pay me to do that on live TV, but the moment lives on forever. Besides all of this, she even pretended to bite a few confused audience members. If you're wondering why on earth she decided to do this on live television, it was all for the pranks episode. Despite her going above and beyond for her show, it wasn't that successful after all. And to top it all off, let's take a look at Jimmy Fallon embarrassing himself once again. I mean, even Joaquin Phoenix asked him. When Jimmy joked that the actor's name was way too long, Joaquin immediately snapped back. I bet Jimmy was thinking this was gonna be a passing comment, but Joaquin didn't let it go. He clapped back by saying, "You can handle it." Once again, Jimmy was embarrassed in front of the entire audience by his own guest. This seems to be a recurring thing for him. Well, there you have it. These were the most embarrassing TV show host moments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.